Welcome to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, where world-changing spiritual entrepreneurs come to deeply awaken the power within to bring forth their greatest purpose, to create massive awakened impact for millions of souls around the planet, while enjoying being in tune with all life and real wealth in all aspects of their lives. I'm your host, Daniel John Hanneman. Welcome, everybody. Another amazing opportunity to be with you today. I have an amazing guest here for the Energy Scan show. And, remember, every single time we do this tuning in process, the tuning in, by the way, I do teach people to do this. I kind of stopped doing teaching of that for a while after doing so much of it. But I do teach people to energy scan and tune in, by the way. So the amazing thing with the energy scanning is whatever I'm picking up, whether I was scanning myself or our guest today, Christina, or I was scanning whoever, there's messages, there's encoded messages for all of us because we're in the oneness field here. So you definitely want to pay attention to what messages you are meant to be receiving today. Hallelujah. We're all on this journey together. I'm grateful to spotlight an amazing guest today that's doing incredible, powerful work you're going to learn about to start off the show. And you definitely want to learn about Christina Woods, and we're going to get started in just one moment. Do you want to meditate and make money? Let it be simple. Let it be easy. Let it be fun. Go to yoursacredpurpose.com and get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation today. All right, Christina, so glad to have you here.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me, Daniel.
You just, I know you're recovering like overachiever in a sense, but like you are just so amazing. I love people that have been super overachiever types of people, like in their own way. Everybody's a little different, but like in your own way, you've done so many incredible things in your life and been a super mom and everything. We'll get into your bio in a minute, but you've done so many things that my point is your integrity of service and to share incredible things with people and to love people and do your best in all situations as best as you can. At least is what I could see is like so transparent to me anyway. I see that in you, and I just so grateful for that aspect of you. And I know that you transmuted that into this amazing work you do, which we're going to get into and talk about in the bio in a moment. But I just wanted to recognize that in you.
Recovering was the word you hit on. I appreciate you seeing that. Well, yeah, I'm sure we'll get into that more. Thank you.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and share a little bit more about Christina, here. To the audience, Christina is a licensed rapid transformational therapist, certified hypnotherapist, empowerment coach, and Reiki master. She combines her background in corporate leadership along with her life experiences in dealing with trauma and abandonment to empower other women to trust their intuition, hallelujah, and set themselves free of self-doubt. Oh my God, yes. As the CEO and founder of Wise Woods Hypnotherapy and Coaching, Christina has extensive experience working on complex challenges and pulling potential out of others so they can become self-reliant individuals. Through this deep hypnotherapy and coaching work, she empowers women to shed old programming so they can live the life they deserve. She has been honing her intuition and spiritual energy practice throughout her entire life. And it is this experience, knowledge, and wisdom that she brings to every client during each session. Christina wants everyone to stop looking outside for what they need, instead look inside themselves. She helps her clients step into their true authentic self, free of self-sabotaging behavior, that old thing, yeah. And so they can live a life full of deep meaning and potential. So how cool is that? So all the liberation, the better, right? So go for it. Big time, right? You're on Spiritual Rockstar. So Christina, I'm really impressed by the depth of the work that you do. It seems so thorough. I'm using my intuition. I'm bringing energy healing. We're doing deep hypnosis. We're doing deep psychology. Yep. We're getting to it. We're going to bring this transformation no matter what. You're one of those invincible healer types that I've talked about over the years. And so you're so dedicated. I'd like to just start off with you just sharing a little bit about maybe a little bit about your journey briefly and what brought you into this work before we get into doing all the energy scanning and everything.
Sure, thank you. Well, my journey from really a child was the idea that I had to be perfect, to overachieve, whether it be in school, you know, in third grade, or in dance or whatever it was, because there was a lot of things that weren't going well around me. So this idea that if I'm good and I just stay nice and small and nice in a little box, then everything will feel better. And so as I grew up in my 20s and became a mother in this corporate world that I could easily navigate, it was natural for me. I turned on overdrive, this journey of overachieving, excelling, supermom, going into, you know, soccer mom, whatever I needed to do. And it wasn't until I really was faced with illnesses and debt and unhappiness and self-doubt and, you know, weight and all kinds of things in my life that I really have to say, all right, you need to slow down here a little bit and find out what's going on inside instead of all these other things. So, even in my career, in my corporate life, I've always had the pleasure and the joy of helping people. I was in higher education, and it was really a journey of helping people who were also dealing with those things. I worked in a sector of education that wasn't very traditional, so it was people who felt like they didn't fit, which was something I could relate to. They weren't necessarily going to study what their parents thought they should, and so they'd come to me and say, hey, you know, I want to do design or art or welding or work on cars, and my dad's a lawyer. So I've always worked with people to help them find their true passion and listen to themselves. Just took me a little longer to slow down and listen to myself. So that's a little bit about my journey.
Great. So basically, like so many people that are doing this great work in the world, of helping people, you were brought to doing this work by first like, wow, I need to take care of me, and then you're, you know, that just like for me, like the same thing's true for me. Like, oh my God, what am I doing to myself, you know, in my life, and how can I help others claim their intuitive gifts and get out there, do their purpose work, etc., and thrive. Like, you know, for you, it sounds like, you know, like the heroine's journey, or whatever. Like, okay, wow, I'm collapsing. I need to change things, and it sounds like that led you to self healing and exploration of a lot of things. So tell us a little bit about yeah, the type of work, like what brought you into like doing things like hypnotherapy, looking, you know, like the stereotypes,
Yeah.
look into the crystal ball or whatever, or
Oh, I know.
whatever the crystal, like the pendulum or whatever.
The
I mean,
tick.
I don't even, my background is in hypnosis. I can't even think of the name anymore, but like, because I think it's so ridiculous. But like,
I know, the little TikTok thing that we think of.
right.
Well, I know a funny story. When I told my kids I was getting into it, my son said, "Oh my gosh, mom, you're like the guy at the fair who we all laugh at." But yeah, you know, my journey was always into things that were spiritual. I actually was. My mother was Catholic and felt very shamed by that religion. So I was actually raised sort of thinking we weren't good enough for the church and religion, felt shame around that. So I was always sort of thinking, I'm kind of not good enough for that, but I want that. I need that connection, but I'm not good enough for that. So I sort of danced around religion until I realized it's really not that religion. It's this spiritual connection that I know that I have and I found. So went on many retreats, and what I found about hypnotherapy that clicked with me watching a webinar one day was just the pure sense that there isn't any tricks that we do. There's no drugs that I give anyone. It's really just quieting the mind, which was something I had to work very hard to do with myself. quieting the mind and listening to the subconscious mind, which is really a window into our soul. And the subconscious mind is also our body, our mind body connection. And just that's where the answers are. So let's just ask, hey, what's going on? What's the root cause of this problem or this issue? And when I took the mystery out of hypnosis, that it's a natural place to go in our mind, that you can't get stuck in it, that I'm not gonna, this isn't about making people dance like a chicken and do all those other weird things. That it's very, very simple, and that the answers are there. And so it's just a very simple gateway for people to trust themselves if they can get past the other things. And then once we see that we have these answers, it's just simple science of saying, all right, let's get rid of those beliefs and programs that were there. They were there for a reason. Let's find out what reason. Once we can find out that reason, okay, then I can release those things. And now let's just do some wiring to reprogram some new beliefs. So it's not what I thought I'd ever do. I don't know how you go from corporate, to hypnotherapy and Reiki master. But it was a very simple way for me to help people find their voice and the answers. To me, it was taking all the other things away and just bringing it to people in a simplistic way. And the Reiki part of it came because, as you know, as you work with people and energy, you really need to understand energy and how to protect yourself and how to read energy. And so I originally started studying Reiki just to help protect my own energy as an empath from a child. I was very, very sensitive and would get very emotional around people and not understand it or get upset. And so as I evolved in my own energetic work, I thought, okay, I really need to understand how to control and use this as a gift. And it really has helped me do that. So that's a little bit.
Great. So, I mean, many people may be curious about that. So, because there's a lot of empaths listening to this, how did you harness? I mean, the very, very short story, but like, how did you learn to harness your capacity to use empathy as a gift rather than something that overwhelms you or makes you feel like you got all these things going on because you're picking up on all the things you're concerned about that are happening for others, or maybe not even know about it, right? We're just picking up on all this energy. So how did you flip that? I'd love to hear about that real quick.
Yeah. Well, I learned that it's okay to protect myself and I don't need to have it become my own energy to help guide people. And I believed for a very long time that I had to feel it to relate to it. And so, I had to be in tears with someone. I had to, feel it, or I wasn't there with them. And so, and I would run to the restroom and get sick. And I thought, this isn't helping anybody. I thought, I even thought for a second I wouldn't be able to do hypnotherapy because I was getting so physically ill from it. And so I learned to harness it by, one, grounding myself and using Mother Gaia and the earth to support me. I learned that I am divinely supported and I believe it. And so I asked for help. I asked for my spirit guides, everyone to support me and to protect me. I do a lot of visualization to help protect me. I honor my intuition. If today I feel like I need to use crystals, I will. If I need oils, if I need to hug my dog, I will. I need to, do those, whatever I need to do. But I know now that my energy is separate and that I can still have empathy and be able to use that sensitivity to feel and I know where you are and I know what you're feeling, but I don't need to feel it,
Right.
if that makes sense.
Yeah. And then developing your ability to discern and intuit things
Yes.
in a sharper, clearer, and all that sort of way in the process. So that's great. No, that's wonderful. I think, every time we can share with empathic people the things maybe they've even heard many times, it's good. We need these reminders, and like, because we all can slip off of our practices too. Like, oh, I'm not been grounded enough lately. I've been kind of up in the energies. Like, so yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. So, well, let's talk a little bit. Let's take a little bit of time to talk about any new opportunities or challenges or questions you have in the area of purpose and business. So, I know that you're doing this great work and really making some big shifts in people's lives, taking people who, I don't want to give anything confidential out, but, the testimonials you gave me were really strong. People having huge anxiety issues, working through
Mm-hmm.
those, even loss of control of their body and, bringing that to where they're not having those issues. So many different variety of issues you could help people with. And then you're looking to continue to help more people, of course. It's usually what people want anyway, and take their business to the next level. Where do you think like the next level of like growth or evolution might be for you? And if you're having any challenges or questions about it, what's coming up for you? I'd love to hear about that.
Yeah, sure. So I'm definitely feeling that the more I work with people, combining coaching with one-on-one sessions with people, the better results that I'm getting. Because what I am finding is that we're having these wonderful realizations and clarity about the lies that people have been telling themselves and the truth, and the beliefs that they were believing for so long, that they're finding out, wow, I am good enough, or I believe that as a child, and now I know that's not true, or I am safe. And so we're replacing these things with true beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
But the real power is when they can apply that to their real life. And
Mm-hmm.
so when I meet with clients, just a little bit every week, even if it's 30 minutes or an hour, but I am starting to implement that coaching element into my business much more, and with more confidence, to know that um, you know you can get so much out of a session, yes, but it's okay to need continued support. And when you go to work and your boss yells at you and you go right back into those familiar beliefs about yourself, it's okay, to need to talk with someone to reinforce these new beliefs, because our mind wants to go towards what's, familiar, and not towards these new beliefs we're trying to build and become familiar. So as I work with clients weekly to build that confidence or whatever it is they're working on, doing different exercises with them, scenarios that come up with their children or their spouses,
Mm-hmm.
and really showing them that their mind and body is connected. So many people have a disconnection
Mm-hmm.
between their mind and body,
Mm-hmm.
and helping people have permission, particularly the women I work with, permission to not always do. This morning I was working with the clients. I said, you have permission to not always do, to not have a checklist in front of you. And as I say that, I have to give myself permission to do that.
Right.
It's a huge issue to just be still and not have something to do. So as I grow my business, it's evolving in working with clients for 3 months, 6 months at a time, where we're doing multiple sessions on various different issues, with coaching in between. I also I have done group classes with people, but I really have a dream of having an ongoing group of women that are there to support one another, share stories that I'm continually working with, and expanding what they're doing, and how they support one another. Because once you know you're enough and
Mm-hmm.
you find this connection, wow, your power just explodes.
Yeah, yeah, totally, totally. So, yeah, I thought that was so great when you were sharing about integrating more of the coaching in, and maybe so it sounds like what you're evolving into is offering maybe a little more service in terms of the length of time people work with you. Is that
Yes.
right? Yeah. Okay. So that's wonderful. Yeah. I mean, that is so true. Like I know like it looks good for testimonials and everything when we say like, we work with that subconscious mind, we're going to clear it and you're going to be 100% cured and hallelujah, it works every single time and all this stuff. But I know through all the transformational work I've done with people that yes, that can happen and it does happen. And I also know that you're right. Actually, some of those old programs could come back.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, it's back. I thought you cleared it out.
Right.
But like I remember just something as simple as this. This wasn't such a deep thing, thing I did. But I remember doing hypnosis with my mother. I was with my mother-in-law when I was doing practice sessions way back until I did a lot more with it. But I would never forget this because it was a fun story. I remember doing a session for her, and it was around food. She didn't want to eat, so help me not to eat so much and everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And she after the session, she went to some gathering or something where there's a huge buffet. She says, I literally couldn't even see the food. That's how strong the hypnosis was. I couldn't even see the food anymore. But it didn't last, it didn't last. So, but for a while, I supported her mightily, and it was just one session. But like that's where when we offer more and more sessions, that gives more of a permanency, more of a depth of what we could, like I could have gotten, she's my mother-in-law, but like I could have, if she as a client, you could move, what I found with other people is you can get into deeper things. And when you integrate coaching, then you have, you're integrating, actions too. Like even if the action is like do less, I mean, like,
Exactly.
all those things and then you can help them to joyfully stay accountable to that so they can feel the discomfort of like letting go, right? Which I was talking about my clients with today. Like there's a discomfort of letting go, of course, right? Especially for
Yeah.
achievers, and then allowing that. So that's a huge service, and there's so much more value to be gained, right, by having these longer amounts of time for people to work with us. I know with hypnosis sometimes, and as healers sometimes we're like, 3 to 8 sessions or maybe one session, and that breaking out of that model can
Yeah.
also be very empowering. Even if you're a Houdini and you can do quick things, there's more to be gained over a long period of time. And I say that not only for you, of course, but for our
Yeah.
audience that has those kind of question marks that come up. So,
Yeah, yeah. And what you said about the discomfort of letting go, I think just honoring the fact that you're right, that isn't easy.
no.
And I'm not doing a service to a client by saying, all right, one and done, good luck. Because there's a hole that we feel and we got to fill it with something else. Even when you do energy work and we feel like something releases, you even visually want to fill that up with something else
Right.
because it feels empty. And so, there's a process, it's a healing journey. And, what's, I think, beautiful about, and I feel fortunate about doing this work is that I don't see clients once a week for 10 years. It's not that kind of therapy. There's a place for that, but that's the kind of work that I do. But it doesn't, like you said, have to be this one and done or it's not good. It can still be 3 months, 6 months,
Right.
Maybe longer. And that's still pretty quick.
Right.
That's still
Right.
pretty quick
I've
and
had
powerful.
some people, I mean, like there's a refinement, I think, of our wisdom around all these things. The nice thing about the idea with coaching and rapid transformation, everything is like it's quick, man. We're gonna do it so fast. You don't have to go to therapy for years and all this stuff. And there's most people that do all these things, they still end up for years hiring people anyway. Like even if they moved on from certain issues,
Hmm.
there's more and more and more, right? So there's more and more development. And I think like sometimes people stop just like they don't they just sometimes they just realize like that there's a beauty to that, like it is an ongoing embrace it rather than like I'm not fixed yet, I'm still not there, and
Yes.
that stuff that we get into. And it's refining that attitude. I say, yeah, well, we don't want to like be thinking about how the kids stole your toy when you're 3 years old for the next 3 years. Like sometimes it's psychoanalysis, right? Again, let's talk about that time when a toy was
No,
taken away. I don't really advocate, although I think that's fine if people want to do that. That's their
still
life.
do
They can
that.
do that, right? I mean, but like, we can move faster than that, but like that there is a course of time, I think, that can better serve people. And I'm like, we're glad you're stepping into that. So let's talk a little bit more about that. So where are you feeling? So you're feeling better and better with that, getting stronger and stronger with that. And where are you feeling a little hesitant? Like you're like, oh, I'd really like to do that, but feeling kind of hesitant about taking this next bold step in my business.
Yeah, I think like many people, it's sharing a story on social media, sharing my voice. There's a little bit of wow. I don't want it to sound like a wah wah or poor me, but I'm okay being vulnerable. So finding that balance that people can connect to and relate to, yet um, that still is a level of discomfort for me out there on social media. And the energy on social media, period, to me is not always a great energy. So you sort of need it, but I don't know. It's
Yeah.
that. I love your feedback on moving past that or around that.
Sure, absolutely. Well, let's do some energies. Let's get into the energy scan, actually.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. I'll
Love
tune
it.
into your overall energy. I'll share a number of things, and then we'll talk about that as well. So we'll take a few minutes to do that right now. And I'm in the habit of setting timers these days. So we'll see 5 or 10 minutes or so of scanning initially, and then we'll talk about it after I share. Does that sound good? Maybe you can take some notes if you want. Okay, here we go. All
Wonderful.
right. Okay, so let me tune in to your energy overall. What's next for you as far as my perception, including with social media sharing, etc. Through the chakras as well. Yeah, wow. Okay, so big ability to receive from spirit. So there's no big surprise there based on what you're talking about. Yeah, I mean, people can have very closed energy in their crown chakra and still be super empathic. So you're not you, like you've got a lot of openness there. The old worry war, like nonstop worry stuff is like a lot like a lot less. It's like a trickle of energy versus like like a raging rapids, like maybe it was in the past, right? So like it's quieted right way down. I can see that. So that's nice. Um, like there's this sense of like, yeah, so this is good. So you're connecting with this universal love and intelligence. um and at the crown level you really get it, like you're really connected into it, you can feel it there, like like you feel like, oh, I'm loved, I'm blessed, I've got God's on my side, so to speak, or whatever, like
Yeah.
the universe is flowing through me, so that's great. And your head is strong. Like I'm starting to get a pain in my head a little bit, but like your head can be strong. So it's good that this is starting to, starting or developed into lightening up the load of the brain. But like this brain energy, like it's taxing my brain right now. Like it can get so strong. It's just like it wants to work and work and figure things out. So like you're a great teacher for people that have incredibly strong minds, very strong minds, and to say like, hey, we need to relax, we need to trust just that flow that's coming in, and allow ourselves to just receive the simple answers. It's like, talked to a colleague recently about this. It's just an ordinary thing, but it's like, yeah, it's funny how when we relax and just tune in, but we get out of our brains, all of a sudden we have the answer. Oh, there we go. That's how, like, so you're continuing to develop and grow in this area even more. And so, like, you're a great teacher and student of this in your life. So this is wonderful. I just see that, from this space of receiving, it's like you have the gifts to give to people, like, okay, what I'm seeing for you, here's a solution, here's an answer for you, at least. So I'm getting this solution for you, and you'll even know how to implement it. Like that's why you're so good in corporate. You would get plans and like it's how, and then you work hard and all that in the past, but now it's like you get the download. It's like, okay, here it's like a zip file, zip, open it up, there's everything in there, the instructions. So you have one of those intuitions that comes in these energy packets, and then you'll be able to give them like even the instructions on how to how things want to unfold. My sense is that you can trust this gift even more, and get even these clearer messages. I think you're a little hesitant to feel like maybe you're taking someone's power away by giving them so much dictation. But you remember, they can choose if it resonates for them or not. Now, I'm not telling you have to do any of these things. I'm telling you this is just what's coming to me.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about it? Consulting with them, but being willing to share more of this intuitive information seems to be important. Yeah, with this, the ability to be highly perceptive and to also be strong with your intellect at the same time. Um, I feel like again, there's a little bit of holding back there sometimes because maybe other people perceive you as or you perceive yourself as like, wow, well, maybe it's too much for people, like this is too much for people. And I don't want other people to feel less than. So like maybe you tone down some of the gifts and abilities you have. So just noticing that. The throat chakra, wow. So there's a lot more that wants to be shared. It feels like it just, I see a lot of width in the capacity of the throat. So one of these things that it normally represents is that you can amplify you, so you have a message to share, but like you're here to amplify other people's voices as well. So you all these women, for example, they have so much they want to release, but they have so much. Once they releasing this stuff, they have their voice to open up and to share more of who they are, more of their wisdom, more of to help other women maybe, and more. So like I could see like this whole community of women opening up to their more natural way of being beyond condition and amplifying the collective voice of these women to honor who they truly are, and to be the wise women they are, the powerful women they are. Like I feel like there's a lot of not trusting the power they are, and so they get into like, oh, I feel all this for you and that, and like get into all these things, and their brains take over and they burn out, and so it's like when they're really owning their true power, it's like they feel so liberated and there's so much fun and ease in their life. So yeah, if they definitely feel like maybe sort of prior versions of yourself, like from
Mm-hmm.
corporate and stuff. So that would be a prime target. And then the heart chakra, there is um, of course, you so dearly love people, right? I mean, you just have such compassion. But in terms of like there is some guarding in that heart because of the concerns and the woundings. So yeah, that will help. That will impede visibility. Um, it's like, well, um, if there's a little bit of cat and mouse game. It feels like,
Mm-hmm.
I see I can trust, then I'll show up. Like, like I'll see if I can trust first, then I'll show up. So there's this hesitation. It's like because it's almost like you could be put on the spot and humiliated. Like there's
Mm-hmm.
a strong energy. So this could be someone earlier in your life, like, oh, you think you know that? Oh, I don't know, something like that. Like, let me put you on a spot, and then you freeze. You're like, oh, like there's it could have been just a few instances, but like you're like, I don't know. I feel so stupid right now. Like, so it could be one incident. It could be a bunch of incidents, but like you're put on the spot, and you're like, I don't know. I don't know. I should know though, right? Oh my God, I should have known. Like, so this kind of feeling I get. So these are all sorts of things that I'm sure, we all work on all these things, but like I just see it in the field. So you want to sow so many seeds of love and empowerment in the world. And so I'm grateful that, you've gotten grounded with your energy to where you can be more mindful with it now rather than feel like you gotta, the old save the world program. So you move past that. Now you're seeing just more your proper role. The power center, just move through this, move along. But the power center, yeah, of course, as you know, the old pattern of ripping through the gears, speed, productivity. Right now, it's like okay, if it's not speed and productivity, then we're just kind of intuitively kicking in the gears when it feels right. But there's again, like the overall theme is a little bit too hesitant. Like,
Mm-hmm.
well, I don't know if I can trust my power to just be like, oh yeah, we're ready, boom, 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 boom. Like maybe you better just hold that back a little bit, flow with it a little bit, which has been a good counterbalance. But now the next evolution is to retrust some of that, like, all right, we're ready, rock it, like really summoning the energy of your intuition with the go signal already, that container, to show up and be as powerful as you are for these women and more. And then something about dogs. I don't know if you could tell me later, but I guess something about dogs, and there seems to be something with, I want to say almost a mission. There's some kind of mission with maybe dogs or something with dogs. I don't know.
Hmm.
Popped in. I like to share. Sometimes these random things pop in. I'm like, what's that all about? Well, I'll share it. We'll see if it makes sense later. All right,
Okay.
so I won't dwell on it for right now, but yeah, money, like that's interesting with money. Like I look at the lower chakras, so money, there's a sort of a furnace burning money sort of thing, but yet there's abundance in terms of like you know how to let money come in. So that's good. And then the sacral chakra, okay, there's some tightness is what I noticed first. Let's see what's that about. Um, uh, Better to be seen than heard or something like that. Like, okay, so that could be like that small child stuff, like, um, don't speak up too much, just go with the program. Um, then you get the reward kind of thing. So not being encouraged to share more of your, maybe more of your creativity and your voice and all this sort of stuff. So, yeah, that again, that's where that hesitation shows up in each chakra. Like, okay, well, if I get the invitation, then I'll share more. And even then, it can be difficult for you to let go of your inhibitions and trust more fully, and allow yourself to maybe let more of the wild, spontaneous side to fully unleash. Now, I'm not saying it does, and I'm sure it does at times, but there's a hesitation there, more than what would be desired by you as a soul energetic being. The root chakra, okay, the energy kind of goes in and out. So yeah, so you can be grounded, but then the anxiety, might come in, and then you get kind of ungrounded, and then it's kind of back and forth. Um, yeah, so I just noticed that. As it relates, yeah. So let's see if there's anything else to share there right now. Um, so yeah, so let's look at this real quick. I see like archangels wanting to come in. So what I'm sensing is more of the fullness of your life being wants to be grounded through your root chakra, because it's a little too caught up with in the emotions a little bit still.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's more of just your pure light wants to get more grounded. Let's see what that is like, and they're showing me archangels. Yeah. So maybe leaning a little bit more cosmic than your work already is. Let's see what else. Yeah. More of your oracleness, claiming more of that, like I was saying earlier. Um,
Mm.
mm, yeah. Yeah. So you're showing the way for these other women. It's okay to trust your intuition and be as powerful as you are with your intuition and your voice, and to lead your own life, and the way you see, the way it comes to you, your all authentic way, and to lead in their businesses and their careers in the way that they're called to, from that place. That grounded, okay. Yeah, so let's talk about, we'll get up to all that in a moment. Then the social media, yeah, I can see the big disconnect there and the energy level. And then let's see what's going on there. Yeah, I mean, this makes sense. Like being on people's podcasts and stuff. This feels good. That feels more your jam right now, right? So,
Hmm.
also speaking on stages makes sense. Like being in person with people.
Hmm.
So yeah, on an energetic level, and then what else? Yeah, I think more a closeness of connection and maybe just my sense of it right now today is maybe initially like maybe if you I don't know if you maybe you have one already, but a Facebook group where you have a but you're a little selective about who comes in, and having a more concentrated group that is your tribe and speaking more in there, which makes sense to me, rather than this idea like, all right, for all the channels, I'm just talking all this stuff all over the place. Like that doesn't feel aligned for me, for you. Um, Now there may be bigger messages you have to share with the masses at some point, but it doesn't feel like the next step right now. So so I think, yeah, Facebook Lives or whatever, if you use something else, but like a that sort of thing, like a Facebook group with Facebook Lives or whatever, that sort of thing would be more like where I could really see gold and a lot of good stuff, creating a community in that. Let's see what's coming through. Um, yeah, I don't know. Right now I don't know. Like, I mean, let's see if there was fun in it then. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm
Hmm.
getting primarily. I'm not getting anything else that's clear, right now. So I'll pause there. I went longer than I thought I did.
Thank you. Thank you.
I keep my eyes closed like time
Mm.
pass by. All right. So yeah, I'd love to hear your reflection again. Everybody keep tuning in. Like everything I said, like it's for everybody at some level. So
Right.
I look forward
Just
to hearing your
everybody.
reflections. Yeah.
Well, it's everything that I'm working through and spot on some of the words that you use. So thank you so much. I think the thing that hit home the most was that my intuition, particularly doing hypnosis, as you probably know, but just my intuition has been expanding and it feels right, and then the hesitation comes in, and so what will people say or what will they think, and yeah, the back and forth. So it's like I'll take 4 steps forward with it and then we'll go back and forth. So trusting it and it feeling like a real gift, that felt very empowering what you said, so thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And this grounding thing, I connect cosmic, and I feel empowered when I think about my gifts like that, and then I feel this struggle to stay grounded. So the fact that you felt that back and forth made a lot of sense. But and my throat chakra, that has been and still is my area of opportunity and growth and healing. And what I need to heal on is my journey to help other women heal and amplify their voice, and help them on their journey, and well, hopefully heal each other on
Yes.
that
Yes.
road. So
Yes.
thank you.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was so beautiful. It was a beautiful experience. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah. I was glad to share it with you. And let's see. Yeah, because the one thing that these things like we all have our different things again, like, but like the stay nice and small thing, like that's still one to keep working through. That's like your
Yeah.
like a life lesson. Like, okay, we'll just kind of keep things small and
Mm-hmm.
nicer, and that way, we won't offend anybody too much or something like that. I don't know.
Oh
That
yeah.
comes through, right? So yeah,
Oh yeah. You're hitting it home right there. Yeah.
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 So as you release more of that, the container can open more, and then that's where you are more and more prepared in terms of like it just working and happening. Just
Okay.
literally letting it happen is where the more to the bigger masses or whatever of people in the world
Okay.
starts to happen is when you clear through more of that. Right now, though, it's like okay, we use a flower opening or kind of metaphor, right? Like the flower's opening, so it's good, and we all have our journey. So I feel like again, like is in a business model, I would super recommend like really high level work, high investment levels. It can be scary for people to continue to think higher and higher level investments, but I feel like possibly we can talk about it now or later, but I also feel like a mastermind, a sort of mastermind would be like a really good sort of group for you to have. And I know you're talking about an ongoing group. Now, if I would recommend personally for your business something that's higher level, a smaller,
Okay.
higher level group, more of a mastermind sort of thing. And then all these other things we like to we hear about and talk memberships and everything. Typically, everybody's different, but typically those things are really nice to drop in when you have a more sizable following.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can do what they want, but usually that's a better time to do that after you've scaled out more of your high level services, especially when you
Mm-hmm.
bring the impact that someone like yourself brings. So, yeah,
Right. Wow. Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
These little
Uh,
nuggets you're throwing out.
Sure thing, sure thing. My pleasure, my pleasure. So, yeah, so I feel like that's about it. And then, yeah, yeah, you're doing great stuff, and your journey continues to unfold. And I love that what you shared too about just looping back to your services and everything. We're going to talk about, you got some free gifts going out for people. We're going to talk about that. You know, I really want to talk to people who are feeling your energy and hear their own story and everything we said in the scan. Like if you're like, man, that almost sounds just like me, kind of, like
Hmm.
almost sounds just like me. I want you to connect with Christina, the you especially. Like I want you to connect with Christina because there's something there for you to presence. And why not? She's incredible. She's very intuitive. She holds a strong container for clients and she's a safe presence. So I highly recommend you do that. So why don't you tell them, Christina, a little bit about? I know you're offering too. Like not all our guests really do this, but you're offering the opportunity for people to meet with you, and you got other free gifts and stuff. So tell us
Yeah.
all about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm offering to meet with the listeners that are interested and that resonate with what I'm talking about for 45 minutes and to have a really empowering discovery call to really talk and unpack what's going on, what's troubling their minds, what's getting in the way and blocking them, kind of map out how that's impacting their life and what we can do to release that and figure out a plan together and talk about these things that our mind does in the subconscious mind that can mess us up and derail us, and unless we deal with it, combining that with hypnotherapy to really get that out of the way so you can start living the life that you want to have. So happy to meet with those that are interested for 45 minutes. People can go to book.wisewoods.com. So it's book, BOOK, .wisewoods.com. I'm Christina Woods, and the company is Wise Woods Hypnotherapy. And another giveaway that I have here is called a Daily Practice Empowerment Worksheet, something that I've had to do, and I still do every day. And so I put it together, and it's really to kind of bring you from burnt out to feeling brilliant and magnificent. So you can go to, our listeners can go to free.wisewoods.com, and there's a worksheet there. And when you download that, you also will get a meditation. It's kind of a healing vortex meditation. So there's some other things that you can get as well.
Nice, nice, great. Yeah, definitely. Again, take advantage of that. And if you like the her energy, and especially if you heard her, especially like the things that she was talking about earlier, you're like, hey, I'm in that transition. I've been an overachiever. I'm looking to deep in my healing, and hey, I don't know, maybe I want to be a coach someday or something. Who knows? But you're looking for that healing in your life, and you want to harness your power and your intuition and everything, or you just feel called to reach out to her. But either way, but like I really feel it for your tribe. I feel your tribe. I'm like, yes, yes,
Oh,
Chris,
I love it.
time to let go. Let's do it.
I'm,
All right.
you're giving me my wings. You're helping me fluff my wings.
Yes. So very good. And then I'll just share with everybody briefly. If you want to reach out to me, I'm at yoursacredpurpose.com, and I do currently, again, I keep saying it might disappear and it may, I still have the opportunity for people to get an energy scan consultation with me at my website at yoursacredpurpose.com by application only. And, but it's a free consultation, especially for people, quite honestly, that have been pushing hard and, all those sorts of things that you're ready to, navigate your purpose and your business from the deeper space within. So if you're interested in that, check that out. It's there at yoursacredpurpose.com. I also have a free meditate, make money meditation there, and people love that. It's definitely made a shift in people's financial life for sure. So check that out at yoursacredpurpose.com. Meditate and make money. All right. Okay. All right. So Christina, I'll give you the last word. If you anything else you'd like to share with the audience today.
You don't have to look far. The answers are inside you. You just have to go within, and sometimes you might need some support and guidance. That's what I'm here for. There's other people like you, Daniel, there, but the answers are already inside you.
Yes, absolutely. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much, Christina, for being on the show today and being willing. I mean, I really congratulate the people, especially coming on the Energy Scan show, because it's a little vulnerable. So I appreciate you being willing to do that and to receive today and to share your brilliance as well with my audience. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And thank you to the audience. Keep on tuning in. We'll keep on rocking it here at Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Till next time, everyone. Bye for now. Listening to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Stay tuned for our next upcoming new episodes each Saturday. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review to help us to serve you best. As a reminder, you can get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation at www.yoursacredpurpose.com to rock your sacred purpose. Goodbye for now, everybody.